We've been having this discussion for more than 20 years, and the truth is that it is important to us that we give confidence to our young people, to that little boy, that little girl, to believe that they can become and aspire to become the head of state of their own country. I think that that is an important symbol and an important confidence boosting measure. We have, at the best, produced people at all levels who have made global contributions. I think you are aware of people like Sir Garfield Sobers and Sir Everton Weekes in cricket, Rihanna. We had Dame Nita Barrow, who was a part of the Eminent Persons Group. At a political level, we had our founder leaders, Sir Grantley Adams and Errol Barrow. We have been independent for almost 54 years this November, and the truth is that the time has come for us to continue to make decisions fully on our own. It's not a divisive decision. It's not a decision that is reflective of any break with the monarchy or any disrespect. In fact, it's quite the opposite. We have an excellent relationship with the United Kingdom, with the royal family, and we believe that the time has just come for us to boost the confidence of our people.
Now, of course, this is a debate that we've had in Australia, and we had a referendum, and nothing was changed. What would be your message to Australians that do want to do exactly what you're going to do?
I think it's important that we send a message to our young people that it is possible for them to aspire to be in charge of their own country at the very highest levels. And I think that it is anathema when you consider that that doesn't fit well as part and parcel of the framework for sovereignty. We don't receive any aid, we don't receive any fundings that is out of the ordinary on our own. We don't receive any of those things. So that pretty much there's no reason for us not to go to the point where a Barbadian can be the head of state of our own country. And I would imagine that Australia and other countries would want similarly that kind of discussion to take place in their own countries.
You would no doubt have royalists in your country that don't want to cut the ties. What do you say to them?
That we can't live in the past, and that the process of independence was started, in fact, when I was less than a year old. And we're just simply completing the task.
And from here on in, you're just going to actually do this. There's no referendum involved.
That's right. No, 20 years ago, we committed to a referendum, and since then, every government, the major political parties have agreed that this is where the country must go. It is our judgment, and we certainly campaigned on it in the manifesto, that while we committed to referenda on other issues, we didn't on this one. And we made it clear that this is where we believe the country must go. And in fact, there was a group of eminent Barbadians who would have, before the last election, spoken to the former Prime Minister, spoken to myself as leader of the opposition, extracted commitments from both major political parties. And we're at this stage now where we're just simply going to, as Nike would say, just do it, make it happen.
Is there a part of you, because as you say, you were alive when you were still a colony, is there a part of you that still feels that sentimental attachment to Britain, or is that really just gone?
No more than a sentimental attachment to Africa. I mean, look, we're a country that we've had people come from both Britain and Africa and other parts of the world for that matter. And we respect our heritage, but we affirm who we are as a people today. And who we are as a people today are proud Barbadians who believe that we are not better than anyone else, but we're as good as anyone else. And to that extent, we have to allow our people to have the confidence that they can be global citizens with Barbadian traditions and govern their affairs. And as I keep saying, we don't have eyes in the back of our head, we have eyes in the front of our forehead, and therefore we're looking forward.
Now, is this going to make you any better at cricket, do you think? Because we don't want that.
I hope so. I do have a proud Barbadian son in the form of Jason Holder, who has distinguished himself as an all-rounder. We do know that Sir Garfield was once married to an Australian, so we know that the linkages are very much there. What you don't know is that I have 2 Australian nieces, and my sister lived in Sydney for over 10 years. So I feel as though that I have some bridge to you. But I hope that that bridge will never carry me back to the days of 1975-76 when Australia beat West Indies 5-1. I prefer to look at the years that went after.
So you'll have a president. Who's going to be the president?
Oh, we have to go through a whole transition team and settle on the arrangements. Fortunately, a lot of that work was done many years ago, and the Constitutional Review Commission had submitted to the then government proposals for how the president should be elected. We're going to dust that off, and in the context of the transition team that will be appointed, we will take recommendations as to how best we do it, whether we accept those recommendations from Sir Henry Ford when we had the Constitutional Review Commission in the 1990s, or whether we modify it. But I won't prejudge those issues tonight, and certainly not on a television interview.
Does the power reside in the Prime Minister? Is the President going to have power over the Prime Minister?
I think we don't want, Prime Minister will remain the head of government in our system, and that we've pretty much decided, so that the President will have a little more than ceremonial functions, but akin to more what we have now. The matters pertaining to certain appeals, the Chairman of the Privy Council in terms of the exercise of the prerogative of mercy as the Governor-General. There are certain things that will be vested in the President as they are in the Governor-General, and some of her own deliberate judgment, some where she must take advice from the constitutional posts in the country, be it the Prime Minister and Leader of the Opposition. So we'll work out those transitional arrangements. Fortunately for us, we've had two major Constitutional Review Commissions since becoming independent, and a lot of that work will not necessarily change now, but out of an abundance of caution, we need to review it and ensure that it is as valid in the third decade of the 21st century as it was when they settled that 30 years and 50 years ago, respectively.
But finally, you're the first female Prime Minister of your country.
Yes.
Would you like to be first President?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I have no interest in being President, Governor-General, Judge, Chief Justice, any of those things that take away your ability to move easily and talk and walk with people. I am one of those who like moving around with the people.